What's going on, guys? John Elder here from combbox, and in this video, we're going to build this rock, paper, scissors game with Tkinter and Python. Alright guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to build this rock, paper, scissors game. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out combbox where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. All right, we're going to have a little bit of fun today and build this ridiculous little rock, paper, scissors game. So you could pick your thing. I'll pick rock. You could spin. Rock breaks scissors. You win. Spin again. It's a tie. Spin again. See, rock and rock are the same. Rock and paper. Paper covers rock. You lose. And that's all there is to it. So an easy little game, but kind of interesting and should be a lot of fun. So I've got a file called RPS, rock, paper, scissors.py. We've got some basic Tkinter starter code that we always use. I'm using the Sublime text editor and the Git bash terminal as always. So the first thing I want to do is change the background of the entire app. So let's go root.config and let's set the BG equal to white. And let's just say change BG color to white. Okay, let's go ahead and save this and run it just to make sure that worked. So let's go Python rock, paper, scissors.py, rps.py. And you can see our whole background is now white instead of the regular gray. Okay, so the first thing I want to do besides that is add our three images. So I just went online and I found some images of a rock, a paper, and a scissors, and I saved them. And if you guys remember, in this GUI directory that we're always working, I have a folder called images. Inside of that folder, I created another folder called RPS, and that's where I'm saving these files. If you want these actual files, you can check the GitHub link in the comment section below, and you can search around in my GitHub and find them if you want, or just, go online and find any rock, paper, scissor image that you want, and you can go ahead and use those. So I won't really say a whole lot more about those, but what we need to do is let's define this. So I'm going to say rock equals, paper equals, and scissors. Is that how you spell scissors? Scissors equal, and this is going to be a photo image, and we want the file to equal, and this is a relative path, so I can go images /RPS, rock, paper, scissors. That's the other directory I put them in. And then this one is rock.png. So, if you want to use an actual path, it would be, in my case, C /GUI /images /RPS /rock. But since this rps.py file that we're working with is already in this GUI directory, we can just put it like this. So, okay, I'm going to copy this and paste it in a couple more times. We don't need double equal to signs there. And so paper will be paper.png and scissors will be scissors.png. And that's just what I named these files. If you're interested, you can see we're in the GUI directory /images /RPS. And these are the images, just, random rock, paper, scissors images. So, okay, we've got these defined. Now let's create a list of these and let's say define our images and let's add images to a list. And I'm going to call this our image list. And this is a Python list. And I'm just going to pass in rock, paper, and scissors. And you'll see why I'm doing this in just a second. We're going to create a random number. It will randomly pick an item from this list. The 0th item will be rock. The first item will be paper. The third item will be scissors, and we'll use that to sort of match up things later on. So, okay, so we've got our image list. We've got it defined. Now let's create a random number. And so let's come up to the top here, and we need to import random. So let's go from random. We want to import randint. And we've used this before. We can use this to pick a random integer. So here, let's say pick random number between 0 and 2. Why 0 and 2? Because 0 is a number, 1 is a number, and 2 is a number. And those are three numbers. We have 3 images. So rock will be 0, paper will be 1, and scissors will be 2. So we need a random number between 0 and 2. When we call a random number between 0 and 2, it can be 0, it could be 1, or it could be 2, right? So it's not just 1 between 0 and 2. So like 0, no, 1, yes, 2, no. It covers all 3 of them. So between 0 and 2, including 0 and 2. So let's call this our pick number, right? This is the number we're picking. So we're picking a number between 0 and 2, so I'm just going to call it pick number. That's probably a bad variable name, but I'm bad at naming variables. So let's call this rand int between 0 and 2. Okay, so right when the program runs, we're going to pick a number between 0 and 2. And just to make sure this is working, let's put this up on the screen. Let's actually pick one of these images and see if this worked. So let's say throw up an image when the program starts, right? Maybe you want to do this, maybe you don't, but I'm going to call this image underscore label. This is going to be a label. We want to put it in root. We want the image to equal something from our image list. So let's do that. Now, which one of these? Well, it's either the 0th one, the first one, or the second one. So this will either be 0, 1, or 2, right? So we can pick that by assigning this pick number variable into there, right? So now let's go ahead and image underscore label dot pack, and let's give this a pad y of like 20 just to push it down the screen. So, all right, so our program runs, we pick a number between 0 and 2, and then we use that number to put up one of these images up onto the screen with an image label. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and save this and run it just to make sure that worked. And you can see, boom, it picked scissors. Now this has a border around it. Let's get rid of that real quick. So this image here, we can just set the border to 0. Let's save this and run it again, make sure that worked. And also I want to see, okay, we got a different one this time. Because remember, it's picking a random image. I got the same one again. Now that one is scissors. We can run this again. Again, we got rock, run it again. Again, we got scissors, and this is just random, right? So, okay. We finally got paper and we're good to go. So let's now create a quick little button that will sort of spin our thing and pick a different image every time. So let's create spin button. And I'm going to call this spin button. And that's a button. We want to put it in root. We want the text to equal spin, right? And let's give this a command of spin, which we haven't created yet. But now let's go spin button dot pack and give this a pad y of like 20, push it down the screen a little bit, or maybe 10, whatever. So now let's create this spin function. Create spin function, and we want to define spin. And let's grab another random number again, so we can just paste that in there. And let's just image label dot config this to set a new image. And actually, we could just grab all of this and paste it in there. Okay, so that should work. Go ahead and save this and run it, make sure it did. Okay, so we've got paper, scissors, rock. Every time I hit it, it changes. Scissors, paper, paper, scissors. It's not always going to change. So, we can have scissors 3 times in a row. We just had scissors 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. And then it goes to rock. Okay, so that's working. Now let's create a combo drop-down box so that we can pick our selection. So I want to pick rock and then, spin the thing here and see if my rock beats scissors or whatever. So we have to be able to pick what we want. So let's do that real quick. So Tkinter comes with a drop-down thing, but it's not great. So instead, we're going to go from Tkinter, import TTK. And so now we can use our TTK widgets. And above our button here, let's make our choice. And I'm going to call this user underscore choice. And this is going to be a ttk.combbox. Did I spell that right? Combbox. Yep. And we want to put this in root. And we want the values to equal, and this is going to be a tuple. And we want it to either be rock, paper, or scissors. I always think I'm spelling scissors wrong, right? Okay, and now when the program runs, we want something to be selected in the box already, just so that it's not a blank box. So let's go user underscore choice dot current, and we want to set 0. So this rock will be the first one listed, right? Now, we've done combo boxes before, so if you're not familiar with them, check the link in the comment section below for the playlist and look around for combo box and you'll see a video on that. So finally, let's user underscore choice dot pack this guy, and let's give this a pad Y of like 20 to push it down the screen a little bit. So, okay, let's save this and run it, make sure that looks good. Okay, so we've got rock now, paper or scissors. We can choose which one we want, so that's good. And okay, we can still spin. Okay, all right, so far so good. Now, let's create a label down below here. Label for showing if you won or not, right? Whatever. And I'm gonna call this win, lose label. And it's gonna be a label. We wanna put it in root. We want the text to equal nothing to begin with. Let's give this a font of, say, Helvetica and like 18, so it's nice and big. And let's go win, lose label dot pack and give this a pad Y of like 50 to really kind of push it down the screen a little bit. Okay, so that's good. So now all we have to do is determine whether or not the thing we picked, rock, paper, or scissors, wins or loses against whatever the random thing is generated. So let's say rock beats scissors, but loses to paper because paper covers rock. Let's see, paper beats rock because paper covers rock, but scissors cuts paper, so it loses to scissors. And see, scissors beats paper because it cuts paper, and it loses to rock because rock can smash scissors. So we need to make that logic. We need to write that logic. So let's do that in our spin function here that we've already started. And here I'll say pick random number, show image. Okay, so first let's create some labels here and some comments. So I'm just to make it easier for us. So 0 we know is rock. See, 1 is paper, and 2 is scissors. But our drop-down box isn't 0, 1, or 2. It's actual rock, paper, and scissors. So let's convert this into 0s, 1s, or 2s so that we can sort of run if statements to compare the two, right? So let's go convert drop-down choice to a number. Right? So let's go if, and we called our drop-down box user choice, and then we can get whatever we picked in the box. We could say if it equals rock, then let's create a new variable called user choice value, and let's set that equal to 0, right? So then we can go elif, and let me copy this. Now if it equals rock, paper, then I'm going to copy this and say it's 1. And I'm going to copy this whole thing. I guess we could use an else statement, but I'm just going to paste this in. Otherwise, it's scissors, and we'll set this to 2. So if we choose rock from the drop-down menu, this value becomes 0, which is the same value as this rock, right? And here paper is 1. And now we're converting this paper from the drop down to 1. And up here, scissors is 2 in our image list. And we're converting our drop down scissors to 2. So now we have the drop down items as numbers. And we can compare those numbers to these numbers up here from our image list, right? That's created from our random numbers. So, okay, let's go ahead and do that now. So let's determine if we won or lost. Now, there's lots of different ways you could do this, and there's probably a more elegant way, but it was kind of early when I did this, so I just did it kind of, I don't know, sloppily. But we can start out, we just need to basically take this and compare it to this, whatever this is. Because remember up here, we're picking a random number, and then we're adding it to the image. So our image list, if the random number is 0, we're going to take the 0th item in our image list, which is this rock, right? So we can compare that to this user choice value that we just created. So let's just go ahead and do that. So let's go if user choice value equals 0, then 0 is rock, we know, right? So if we've chosen rock, now inside of here, let's run another if statement. Let's go if our random number up here, right? This pick number, it's 0, 1, or 2, right? So we can compare that. So let's just go if pick number equals 0. Well, if the value we chose, rock of 0, equals the pick number of 0, that means we both picked rock, and that's a tie. So then what we can do is, let's see, down here, we've got this win-lose label. Let's output something there. So let's go win-lose label .config and set the text equal to what? It's a tie. Spin again. Okay. Elif our pick number. Let me just copy this whole thing. Pick number equals 1. Remember, 1 is paper. So then we can, let's just copy this whole thing. And let's give some space here. Okay. So if we picked rock and the computer picked paper, paper beats rock, right? So let's go paper beats, or paper covers rock, you lose, right? Finally, let's copy this whole thing again and paste it in one last time. So the final one is 2. So if the pick number is 2, that's scissors, right? So if we picked rock and the computer picks scissors, well, rock beats scissors because rock smashes. Let's go rock smashes scissors. You win, right? Okay, so I think that's all the outcomes we could have. If we both pick 0, it's a tie. If we pick 0 and the computer picks paper, then you lose. If we pick 0 and the computer picks 2, we win. Okay, so that works. So let's copy this another time and another time because there's 3 different options, right? So next, if we pick 1, which was paper, right? And then if the pick number was also 1, so we have got a tie. Otherwise, this is going to be 0 or 2. And 0 is rock and 2 is scissors. So let's see, if we picked paper and the computer picks rock, paper covers rock, so we win. We change that, right? If we pick paper and the computer picks scissors, well, scissors cuts rock, or scissors cuts paper. So let's go scissors cuts paper, you lose, ... Okay, so I think that's right. So if we're paper and rock, computer picks rock, paper covers rocks, we win. If we're paper and the computer picks scissors, scissors cuts papers, we lose. Okay, so that looks good. So we've got rock, we've got paper. Finally, we need scissors, which is 2. So SCISSORS. And let's change this to 2. So if we both pick 2, it's a tie. If we're scissors and they're paper, so this is, let's change this to 0 and 1. So this is going to be rock and paper, right? Yep, that's right. So if we're scissors and they're rock, well, rock smashes scissors, so we lose. Rock smashes scissors, you lose, ... right? So if we are scissors and they're paper, scissors cuts paper, so we win. So let's go scissors cuts paper, you win. Okay, so I think that's it. And this is, like I said, pretty sloppy. There's more elegant ways you could do this. I'll leave that to you to kind of figure those out. Here, let's say if you pick paper, and if, let's say if user picks paper, and here, see if user picks scissors. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this and run it, see if that worked. Hopefully it did. Okay, so, right off the bat, this label has a background that's gray. So let's fix that real quick. So down here in our label, let's set the background color to white. Okay, that should work. Now let's save this and run it. Zoom. All right, so I'm gonna pick paper. Well, let's pick rock first. So rock with spin. Rock. Rock smashes scissors. You win. Is that right? Rock smashes scissors? Yes. So let's do it again. Rock, rock. It's a tie. Spin again. Rock, scissors. I win. Keep clicking, click, click. Okay, so paper covers rock. You lose. All right, so that works. Let's try paper now. So paper covers rock. We win. Do it again. Paper, paper. It's a tie. I pick paper here and, it's paper there. Okay, paper covers rock. You win. And scissors, where's the scissors? Come on. Okay, so scissors cuts paper, you lose. All right, so that works. And finally, let's do scissors. So scissors cuts paper, you win. Woohoo! Do it again. Scissors, scissors, it's a tie. Scissors rock, rock smashes scissors, you lose. All right, so that kind of works, and it's kind of fun. So this is a very silly game, but it's kind of fun. I will now challenge you to do two things, make this look cooler. I just did this very quickly, so the graphics are kind of wonky. Maybe you could put a frame around this stuff. Maybe you can change the color of the background when you win to green or something and red when you lose, or I don't know, play around with it, make it look cool. And then also, if you're interested as an exercise, come through here and maybe try and find a better way to do these three things to the win or lose selection, if-else statements. Maybe you can find a better, more elegant way that uses less code. I'll leave that to you as a little exercise. It's kind of fun. And that's cool. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to that channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out codeofme.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off memberships. They pay just $49 to access all my courses, over 47 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 100,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from codeofme.com, and I'll see you in the next video.